I'm going to be honest. I'm annoyed. Annoyed I didn't know this sooner because one shift has changed everything for me. You see, I used to work 12-hour days on my e-com store and I still felt stuck because I realized that I was just being busy, not productive, and 80% of the tasks I was doing was not contributing to the growth of my business. Today, I've scaled that store to do over 1.5 million in sales and I manage it in under an hour a day. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how I did it with a rule I call growth versus grind so you can install it into your business this week. So stick with me just for 5 minutes. So it all changed for me crucially when I came across this book that you might be familiar with. And one of the biggest concepts that he brought up in this book is something called the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle, which was known before this book, of course, but it opened my eyes to how I was spending my time. He told me in this book, according to the 80-20 rule, 80% of your time is spent doing low leverage tasks that aren't getting much output. And then just 20% of your time is what's giving you 80% of the results. So for us in an e-commerce business, what that means is 80% of the sales, the income we're generating from our business is coming from just how we spend 20% of our time. And that opened my eyes to me. I need to work out what is that 20% and how can I increase the amount of time I'm spending my time on the high leverage tasks. And so this is how we do that using these processes. The first thing we need to understand is what I call growth versus grind, or signal versus noise, as I've come across it recently called as well. Now this, or growth versus grind, means that there are some tasks that is your signal, and signal is what I call growth. These are tasks that are your 3 most important tasks to get done every single day that really move the business forward. So examples of this, think of things like ad management if you're running your own paid ads, enhancing the offer that you're giving to your customers, doing the supplier calls, or putting together business strategy, the vision for what you're doing with your business. And then the opposite of that is the noise tasks, the things that just create noise, everything outside of the 3 things you said you were going to do that day. And this is what I also call grind tasks. And they include things like customer emails, support with live chat, phone calls, order fulfillment, the day-to-day task of running an e-com business that are low value. We need to be making sure we're spending our time on the high leverage tasks. And for everything that's noise, everything that's just low leverage and not moving the needle forward with the business, we need to delegate, automate, or delete. Now let me show you how we go about doing that, because it's a 3-step system. First, I'll systemize, and then I'll automate, and then I'll outsource. The reason I do it in this order is going to become clear as I explain. But this is what I'm doing now with other e-com business owners. It works so well for me that I was able to scale, that I had time now to help other e-com owners. And if you send me a message on Instagram, I'll send you my resource pack that shows you exactly how to do this in a step-by-step fashion. But this is a 3-step process. So we start by systemizing. But what do I mean by that? I mean that we look at our business from a zoomed out point of view, looking down on all the tasks that we do and realizing that our business is just a machine. It's a machine which is a set of systems that go over processes that repeat itself to go from customer need to income for the business. And in the middle is the systems, the processes that we deliver in order to take the customer's problems, deliver a solution, and income for our business comes out the other end. So systems, that means creating SOPs for the repetitive tasks that are done in the business. It means having weekly routines for what you do and what your VAs do, which we'll get to in a second. And it means that you've got some sort of management system. So I use Trello to have my order fulfillment, my customer issues all handled. But there needs to be some kind of order or project management tool that you're using to keep on top of things. When you document your processes, you're setting yourself up for consistency in the way your business operates, and you're now ready for delegation, which comes a little bit later on. But before we delegate, we need to automate as much as we can first. The last thing we want to do is hand over tasks that could be automated to another human being. Instead of wasting your time, you're then just wasting the time of a virtual assistant that you're paying for. So what sort of tasks did I automate? Well, obviously abandoned cart flows with emails. I used to follow up, but I can have that done automatically now by email. I'm now setting up voice agents to give phone calls as well. Order confirmation, of course, is all automated through Shopify. And my new AI agent that I've talked about in a previous video is now able to handle customer phone calls out of hours. So repetitive tasks that can be done by humans should be automated as much as possible. And then the final step, once we've identified what we can automate with robots, what we have left over from those low leverage tasks is what we can outsource. So I now hire virtual assistants for e-com businesses, and I've got my own VAs that one of them has been with me now for over 3 years. and he helps predominantly with customer support, but he also just runs the store day to day. Also, I've used freelancers. You can do that for product uploads as well. And then getting expert help on board. How can you outsource some parts of your business to level up quickly? So with all this in place, you can run your e-com store in under an hour a day, just as I do. Now, the trap that will keep you stuck and the thing that will hold you back from doing this is that you can't distinguish between what is a grind task and what is a growth task. And remember, we need to do growth tasks, and the grind tasks are just the noisy things that keep us busy. Because what a trap that I fell into before is doing tasks that feel productive in the moment. For example, answering customer emails. Don't do these tasks. Outsource, automate as much as you can. Uploading new products, although it is high leverage, it's time wasting, it's time consuming for you to do that. Tweaking the homepage. I was awful for updating my website thinking that it was important. Handling live chats yourself, organizing folders in the Google Drive. Don't ask me how much time I've spent wasted on that. Well, in reality, what actually drives growth is improving your ROAS. It's looking at the Google Ads ROAS that you've achieved and thinking, how can I optimize using the data in my ad account? It's doing things on the website that increase your conversion rate, putting new tests together. It's working on your offer and thinking about a strategy of how you can bring a new product to market, etc., etc. You know the type of tasks. If you look at your business, think about what is it that actually is delivering a better experience for my customers on a scalable way. Those are the tasks that really matter for your business. If you want to be a successful e-com brand, it's all about how much time can we relentlessly put into growth-driving activities. Now, something famously said by Steve Jobs to one of his employees, one of his high-up employees, he'd constantly ask him, what have you said no to recently? Trying to find out how much he was willing to sacrifice to only focus on the things that they said they were going to focus on. So ask yourself as well, what have you said no to recently? What are you sacrificing? What busy tasks are you moving out of the way? And I've got a great way to do this. So this is a template that you can use, and it's super simple. You literally just need to do this on a piece of paper, and you've got two columns. One column for signal tasks, which are the growth tasks, the most important tasks, and another column for the noise tasks that come up in your day, and that is your grind tasks, as I call them. So what I'm going to challenge you to do now, and this is how I really got out of the habit of doing the day-to-day monotonous tasks, is every morning for 5 days in a row, ask yourself, does this task generate income for the business, or can it be done by something else, like a robot or someone else? So, for example, signal tasks, you'll start writing down things that are most important to your business. So it'll be like optimizing your ads. Or perhaps on that day, you'll be having a supplier call to make sure you've got a fantastic relationship with your suppliers for the products that you sell on your site. So for your supplier call relationships, maybe you'll be signing new suppliers. Maybe you'll be working on the offer. Maybe you'll be enhancing or creating a new campaign for your ads. Things that really move the needle for your business. And then write down in that day or in the morning things that are pulling for your attention. So things like emails, things like live chat, things that feel important in the moment that will give you a notification and make you think it's important. Things like Instagram, chats on there as well, DMs that you're receiving. Unless this is directly leading to income generation, it shouldn't be done by you. And unless it's something that your expertise only could do, then move it to this task, this pile. And remember, realistically, the vast majority of tasks should be in this list. 80% of the tasks on every single day are not delivering the results for you. There should only be 20% of tasks. To be really honest, there's realistically only going to be 3 tasks a day, realistically, that you can do that are really going to move the needle. And once you've got that, you'll know how to then dedicate your time. So your morning goes to these tasks and your afternoon goes to these tasks. So that's your challenge. 5-day challenge from today, from watching this video. Implement the same thing and watch the difference it makes to your business. Start by doing that each morning, draw 2 columns and separate your signal versus noise tasks or growth versus grind. List every task on your schedule, starting with the growth tasks and leaving the noisy grind tasks later in the day. And make sure that you are yourself personally only focusing on signal tasks earlier in the day. And if you could outsource all of the noisy tasks, then fantastic, as I do. But if you can't do that yet, then make sure they're pushed back to the end of the day. Automate and delegate the noise and repeat for 5 days. And with that, I guarantee you're going to increase the amount of time you're putting into your high leverage tasks and think about the potential for when you put your time into high leverage tasks. This work on systemizing, on automating outsourcing, I'm so passionate about it because it's upstream from all of the income generation that you do. Don't worry about what marketing campaign to follow, what next YouTube video to watch about growing. If you haven't got the time to put into those things, then it's pointless you trying to even upskill and learn those things anyway. This has to be done first. So a resource that I want to leave you with is a pack of resources that I put together to help you go through this process as quickly as possible. And simply DM me the word resource on my Instagram, which is James Irby Official, which is the link in the description to find me. DM me the word resource and I'll send you the templates I put together so you can input this into your business. So with that said, looking forward to seeing your results over the next 5 days. Let me know how you get on in the comments and I'll speak to you soon.